This podcast contains explicit language. Hello, and welcome to 424 Recording, a podcast about home studio and lo-fi recording. We're talking all things music, especially in the punk, grunge, bedroom, and indie rock genres. This is Mike from 424recording.com, and in this week's episode, I had a conversation with Mary Catherine Greenawalt. If you know anything about the channel, you know the theme song Down Low was recorded by two people specifically. Their names Sean and Mary. So what a fitting duo of collaborators to have on the podcast 2 weeks in a row. So this conversation is sort of a follow-up to Sean Cunningham's conversation that I had with him last week. And we're trying to get to the bottom of what the origins of the track Down Low are, because nobody seems to remember. So this conversation, while it may not clarify that completely, may give you a better understanding of where that track came from and how it came about. Here's my conversation with Mary Catherine Greenawalt. Yeah, that's what I was saying was you guys gotta put yourself out there more, because there's such an amazing amount of songs that you guys have put out. I mean, as you know, the theme song on the channel is huge. People fucking love it, and there's so many people who are like, who is this? I need to know what this is. It's it almost eclipses everything I'm doing on the channel.
No way. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It feels so good just because, obviously Sean and I have loved, collaborating with music for so long. And it's always been such a little side project. And, we have spurts where we're playing all the time, and then we won't for a few months, and then we're we gotta, in the beginning of the summer, we were we should start now he's in New York, so obviously we can't, but we were let's get together once a week and make a song. And so Heartache, the one that I was Instagram message about or whatever, that song, we just sat one day on a Saturday afternoon, evening, and I drank tea, and we just pumped it out in 2 hours.
That's amazing.
And then what's funny is that, we'll sit there and go back and forth with the lyrics, and I tend to jerk off a little bit. I'll start writing down dumb shit that makes no sense.
You got to do that though. You got to start somewhere.
He's you're fired. He's you're fired for the next 5 minutes. I get put on timeout because I'll put just really stupid, two things, a rhyme, you know, like a children's nursery rhyme. And he's you're so fired. And then I'll come back to it and then pump out, 3 lyrics that are great. I'm okay, I can kind of do this, because really Sean's the brains of the operation. He's the one who's he's a savant, man.
I know. But I think you're also not giving yourself enough credit though, too.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I can do some stuff. I like to think I'm more of a doctor than the creator. I'm good at taking something and kind of spicing it up. But Sean just hiccups, and 5 minutes later he's got a full song, and you're how did you do that?
Well, that's
insane.
And that's Down Low, the song on the channel that everybody loves too.
Yeah.
It's he has gone on record with me on saying that he doesn't remember recording that song or anything about it. And I'm are you crazy? So I wanted to ask you do you remember recording this Down Low?
Yes, I totally remember. We were in the back studio, and you had sent us, wasn't it you guys were already working on it when I jumped in, but didn't you?
I don't think I
you did the chord progression and stuff.
Did I?
And then, oh damn it! Hold on. Oh, okay, sorry. Sometimes my iTunes automatically starts playing music.
Oh, that happens to me too.
Anyway,
it if you hit something, yeah. Anyway,
I went to plug in my phone to charge it. Anyway, But yeah, like you guys had already like started recording a little bit. Like you guys were basically passing the song back and forth from New York to California.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's what happened because you weren't with us.
No, I wouldn't have been there.
No, but you're on it.
Well, no, I'm not on it.
It's not your guitar?
No.
None of us fucking remember then because in my head, like I've been telling everybody forever, like, oh, listen to this song. It was really cool because like we collaborated it.
I'm like honored that you think that I did that.
What?
No, that's what I'm trying to figure out here is like because Sean has no recollection of doing it. That's like Paul McCartney said that I think with Sgt. Pepper's, he had like no recollection of recording that song or like doing the vocals on it.
Well, I definitely remember recording it. It was during the day. He wasn't drinking, so I don't know why he doesn't remember, and he doesn't smoke weed.
Well, I think
we were in the back and we were fucking around, and I remember because I was so excited that I thought of the doing origami in the pawn shop.
Yeah,
I was
everybody
like,
loves
I'm
that
so
one.
fucking cool for thinking of that one.
Yeah,
because I never have creative stuff like that. But no, we pumped that out hella fast. I don't know why I thought you were on it.
I think that's why it's not recalled because that's what Sean and I were talking about on the podcast last week. Was like he's been like how he works on stuff is exactly what you just explained. Like he doesn't even remember half the stuff that he does. It's like lightning in a bottle.
No,
comes out, or he's ready to record it. He records it. It's like a moment. It's a feeling, and then he like just puts it on the shelf or puts it away in the treasure chest and then just like doesn't look at it for years.
No, that's 100% true. And then what's funny is that he'll like, if I pick up a guitar and someone says, play this, it like takes me a second. If I haven't played in a while, it takes me a second to kind of like get in the groove. Sean will just straight up like look up in the sky for a second and then like strum one chord and then he's doing the whole song and you're like, dude, you haven't played this in 3 years. Yeah. And he's got it.
Jimmy's like that too.
It's like riding a bike.
Sean's brother. You've hung out with Jimmy and have you seen those guys when
Jimmy
they played?
Is like that. Yeah, they're a bunch of geniuses, the Cunninghams, man.
I know. It's so frustrating. I think I've talked to you about the frustration of that too, because it's like it's just like effortless. It's like how are you doing this?
Yeah, seriously. And can I have some of whatever you're drinking in the morning? Like what?
Yeah, where is this? Yeah. Where is this coming from? Like, and they're with that with everything. The Cunningham boys, like I noticed, like sports, like they will outplay you.
It's true.
Like even if you're just shooting hoops, like playing horse or something. I remember playing like horse with Sean like many years ago, and it was like it wasn't even a competitive thing, but like it was like something just turned on in him, and he's like, okay, and he's just like sinking them like all over the place.
I think what's even more frustrating is that they're effortlessly great.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm like, you're not even trying.
Well, and then it's like the other part of the whole thing that's even I think the craziest part is they're not, like all these songs are not really out there.
I know.
And that's why like what it blows my mind with Down Low, like as we just discussed, that it's a song nobody remembers how it came about. Nobody remembers. I mean, you remember making the line. That's awesome. Origami in the pawn shop.
Yeah.
But nobody knows where it came from, like where it's from. Like it would have never seen the light of day if I had never like just like this is a great song. I'm going to use it as my theme song for this project I'm working on. And now here we are talking about it. But it's like,
yeah,
I think that's the craziest part. It's like what is this crazy vault of songs that you're sitting on, and why aren't you doing anything with them?
I know, and he really has no excuse. Like neither of us have any excuse. Like we even have certain songs that we love to play live and we've never recorded.
Right.
And people request them, they'll be like, hey, do you have a recording of this? And I'm like,
no.
Nah.
So why do you think you guys are like that?
Well, just like, throughout Sean and I's, collaboration stint together in the last 5 years, we're either filmmaking or we're making music, and the problem is making music doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah. Yep.
So it gets put, we'll do it next week, whatever. And then also Sean is such a perfectionist, like he likes to, he's like, oh, I want to re-record that. And
Yeah.
do it in a studio or something. And it's like, well, we're also like, and neither of us are like, we're going to be like a touring band or something,
Like you
but
don't have any aspirations
that's a hard
for that.
life.
Yeah, right. It's like I
Yeah.
remember at one
But,
point he was saying like, "Oh yeah, like this band Head in the Heart, like I know that's what band Sean really likes or liked for a long time." And he's like, "I don't know how they, how they tour around and do all the things they do. They've been playing shows like so long and it just doesn't seem like that lifestyle is appealing to Sean or you or anybody like me either. Like it's like I don't know if I could do that,
yeah.
But I guess do you think that's like a big reason why you guys like don't like you just obviously the paying the bills part. I mean, you're like a
Yeah,
producer, right? Like what would you say your official? Because I never really asked you that. Like what your official title is.
Yeah. So I'm a producer for the last 5-6 years, and I started a casting company 2 years ago.
That's right.
As well, because I was casting all my own stuff I was producing, and I thought, I should start casting, for other clients and whatever. So I started doing that. And then I've been actually pursuing acting, which has been great.
Right.
Sean and I made our first feature together.
Yeah. Hudson. And we're going to plug it again, Hudson.
We don't know when it's coming out. We're going to do a screening in Syracuse October 4th, but
I'm going to be there.
We're going to be, yay, I'm so excited. And we're going to, we're submitting to all these festivals and just crossing our fingers. We got a really great premiere somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited. So I produced and acted in that.
Yeah, because you have a background, you went to school for acting, right?
Yep.
And
yeah.
Where does like the music come into play too? Because obviously you're an amazing musician as well.
Thank you. My dad's a musician, and so my first gigs were 5:00 mass at St. Anthony's Church in Oakley, California.
Oh, okay.
Choir. So it was like my dad on guitar, my brother David on guitar, and me singing. All three of us would sing, and that was like our weekly gig.
The Greenawalt family band.
Yep. And my dad's a drummer who also plays like every, guitar, bass, piano, and he's a singer as well. And so I come from a fairly musical family.
When did you start writing your own stuff?
I started gigging in New York in 2008.
Because that's how you guys met,
and I did that. Sean and I?
Yeah.
We met, so at the time, so for years I was gigging around New York City by myself, just doing, like, playing guitar and in covers. I was just doing covers exclusively. And then a band named Jumbo Brown, a guy that I worked with in casting asked me, hey, would you want to be, like, a guest singer, like jump on stage with my band and sing Proud Mary by CCR. CCR is my favorite band.
Oh my God.
So yeah, John Fogerty is
he's got like the greatest
spirit animal.
Rock and roll voice. Yeah.
There. So they were like, hey, do you want to jump on stage? So that night that I jumped on stage at, I believe it was called Comedy Bar in Midtown. That was the night I met Sean. And Sean, a couple weeks later, was like, hey, do you want to start a band together? And my first thought was like, oh, crap. Because I had a few different people ask me, like, hey, do you want to collaborate with music? And then we get together, and they're like, we just don't quite vibe, musically. Okay. But Sean and I, I'll never forget it, our first song we played together was My Sweet Carolina by Ryan Adams.
Nice.
And it was instant. Like, as soon as I heard our voices together, I was like, whoa, we could be like brother and sister. We sound that good together.
Wow, yeah. That's when you know you really got something. Cool. I mean, I feel like that's usually the best sort of collaborations, it's effortless.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. It always has been musically, it's always been very, and even, we've,
well, even with the film,
collaborated a lot with filmmaking, and
it's like synergy.
It's super, yeah, like we just work really well together.
I know and I feel like that's something you really need to hold on to, and not let go of and continue to collaborate as much as possible, because I feel like relationships like that, especially creative ones, are, I don't want to say once in a lifetime, but like, I don't know. I feel the same way. Like when I'm doing stuff with Sean, it's like that dude just gets me, I don't know why or what it is or what the cosmic, alignment is or whatever you believe in. It's like, there's just something with whenever I'm with him, it's like he picking up what I'm putting down, and it's like almost like we speak another language without even speaking.
He's also, Sean is fun to collaborate with too, though, because he is so positive and supportive through like the creative process. Like he keeps a really good, and his energy level is so high. There's so many times that we'd be recording and I was such a crank. Like I'd be like, are we almost done? He'd still just be like having the best time. He keeps the energy up and genuinely loves what he's doing.
And I think
and it's really cool.
That genuine love of the process, and creativity. I think that's really what it all comes back to,
Absolutely. I mean, you gotta love it. I definitely have to keep myself in check sometimes. I struggle with anxiety a bit, so I'll start to, and I'm also like ADHD Master 5000. So my brain, like I'll start thinking about a billion other things I should be doing or could be doing or whatever. And then like kind of exit the room in my head. And then, it's nice to be brought back so easily just by like someone else's good energy.
Somebody keeps you grounded. You're
like,
right.
Oh yeah. Like, let's stay present.
What about like meditation though? Do you ever try that?
Oh, you kind of cut out there for a sec. What'd you say?
I was saying, what about like meditation for kind of staying focused? Have you ever tried that, just out of curiosity?
I have. I stuck at it so hard though. Like I got one of those apps on my phone. Actually, while we were filming Hudson, I was trying to use the app every night, and I kept on finding myself after a couple minutes being like, "Oh shit, I'm supposed to be listening to this app."
Yeah. But were you meditating though, or were you thinking about other stuff?
No, totally. I started by like meditating, connecting to my breath, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking about, okay, so if I shower tonight, I can wake up, 15 minutes later,
I thought you meant like you were doing it, like, because you hit that point of like meditating, and then you're like, oh wait, and then you start thinking, you're like, oh wait, I was just meditating. What happened?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. Because because I know Sean sometimes, like, he can be a little ADHD too, like,
Yeah, but when he's creating, he's pretty good at staying focused. Oh, right.
He's like on the level. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But, yeah.
He's got like a superpower. This guy's like a superhero or something. I don't know what it is.
He is a superhero. Really annoying.
It's super frustrating. I've talked to you about this before. Because like I feel like sometimes I used to spend like an inordinate amount of time like working on a song, and then Sean will like out of the blue send me like a track like on like iMessage or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, I'll check this out, cool, and it'll just like eclipse and just completely dominate like whatever I was trying to do. Like he'll just send something and he's like, oh yeah, I just did this like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, you asshole.
Yeah, and then in 15 minutes he'll be like, oh, I don't even know what one you're talking about. I've already written 3 more. What?
Right. And then I'm just gonna.
That one wasn't even good.
I'm gonna put this, and then I'm gonna put these just all under my bed and lock them away, and nobody will ever hear any of them. Oh my god. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, here's to hoping that we, that Sean Cunningham starts sharing his music more, and that, Motels actually, lets people know that we have a SoundCloud. It's so funny. Like I
didn't even know you guys had a SoundCloud. To be honest, I had no idea you had one. Because I was like putting some songs out. I had some of one of your. I think I put Heartache in one of the videos as like the opening in one of the vlogs, and I would have been directing people to that SoundCloud had I not known it. So what is the SoundCloud address that people can check you guys out at?
1 second, I'll look it up. Isn't that terrible? But you know what the problem is?
That's
we chose our name.
That's perfect. The problem is
we chose our name and like didn't really think about the fact that it's a popular.
It's like an 80s band, right?
Name?
The Motels or something.
Yeah, there's the Motels. It's soundcloud.com/motels-2.
-2, okay.
The number 2.
Motels -2, okay. I'll put a link in the description of the show too.
Groovy.
So that's where we can listen to all these amazing tracks you guys have been working on, and not
To
actually.
be honest, there's only like a handful up there. We're so bad,
right.
But we've definitely talked about putting more stuff up there. So hopefully there's quite a bit up there, and then hopefully there'll be more soon. A lot of the stuff that's up there is stuff that you may have heard of the reality TV show called Teen Mom on MTV.
Teen Mom, okay.
And our music has been on there.
Wait, what? Like, what do you know? How's that possible?
We put our stuff on ASCAP.
Okay.
And they bought it. MTV bought it to use. Oh my God. I'm going to send you a video. You're going to crack up. It's just of my TV, but it's like a really epic moment in Teen Mom 2 where they play Take It Easy.
What?
Like while a kid's getting out of the hospital. Yeah.
So you have songs in like syndication right now, but people don't know where to find your music online.
I know, it's so bad.
This is insane. I don't know if this has ever happened in the history of people being in bands, but you heard it here first.
We're like the laziest band ever.
It's like, do you guys even exist? Like, I don't know.
I know, it's so crazy.
So is there any plans to do any sort of shows, touring, anything like that, or it's completely like you guys are just like, whatever, we're doing this film stuff?
Here's a challenge. Perhaps we'll do maybe we'll do a little live show in Syracuse in October when we're there for the screening.
We're holding you to that. We're doing that. I want to see that happen. Because you guys are gonna have some music in the film. Or we could even do it like a couple days before in New Paltz or something. Let's do it. I would love. I want to see that happen, and I want to see what the reaction of people listening to you guys is. If anybody knows in the audience, while you guys are playing that, they'll be like, "Oh, that's that song I love from Teen Mom. I wasn't able to find it online though."
So funny. I know, we're so bad.
It's gonna be good. Sweet. And where can people find you online? What's your Instagram?
Me? My Instagram is I'm Mary Kath, so IMMaryCath.
Cool.
And if there's anyone over 35 that still uses Facebook, I'm Mary Catherine Greenawalt on Facebook.
Nice. And that's what you're going by these days? Because I know sometimes you go by Mary Green.
So I got rid of it. So my agent years ago had me drop the Walt because people were taking out an A or adding a D or doing crazy stuff to my last name.
Gotcha.
And so I changed it. And then it never felt right changing my last name, you know? I went back to it like a little over a year ago.
So Mary Catherine Greenawalt. That'll be that's the name I should put on the title of the show, right?
Yep.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
thank you for having me, MJ. It's exciting.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule producing Hollywood films and soundtracking Teen Mom to come on and have a chat.
Oh, absolutely. For you, anything, anytime.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Thank you. It was mine.
Thanks, Mary. So that was my conversation with Mary Catherine Greenawalt. You can follow her on Instagram at IMMaryCath. You can also find some of Mary and Sean's other songs. I don't think Download's up there. They're more of like a folk rock band, which is interesting too. You can find those songs at soundcloud.com/motels-2. This is Mike from 424recording.com. Godspeed, my friends. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and review the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to support the podcast, you can check out patreon.com/424recording. Appreciate you, my friends. And make sure you do something you want to do today, okay? We'll catch you on the flip-flop. Peace.